Okay, ladies and gents, we are back with some professional mixed martial arts action for you. This one's sponsored by FSG Signs and Graphics. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner from MMA Saint Césaire. Give it up for Aurelien Remond.
Okay, here we go then. Pro MMA time. We've got Aurelien Remond taking on Konrad Jaskiewicz. Aurelien Remond 1-0 in the pro game, won by stoppage. Someone's O has got to go in this featherweight pro MMA matchup. Aurelien Remond fighting up MMA Fitness Saint Césaire, making his way to the cage now. And Dean, if we can just gather our breath behind us. Two unbeaten fighters going into the cage. And talk to me a little bit about the psychology of going into a fight unbeaten, not knowing how to lose. And that's a big thing going into a fight, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've almost got to be not too hung up about losing your own because you're distracted with losing. You don't want even that to come into your mind. Of course, it's natural to think about the loss, but you really have to think positive and what you're going to do in that cage.
And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner from Avedon MMA. Give it up for Konrad Jaskiewicz.
And here we go, the man they call Skinny Power, Konrad Jaskiewicz. Last seen separating Barak Martin from his senses via viral flying knee KO on Contenders, one of the knockouts of last year, Dean. Also the owner of one of the quickest submissions in MMA history. I think it was a 5 or 4 second heel hook on Contenders 11. And this man is a box of tricks, and he's great to watch fight.
Yeah, it's very slick Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, we've seen his KO power. Look for him to use that Imanari roll to get the takedown or finish with a leg lock. Will we see another world record tonight in MMA at Contenders? Każdy chce w życiu tego samego, zdrowia, miłości na starcie miliona. Układasz plany jak w ciemności Lego, by stanąć do pionu ze złamanych kolan. Za życie bliskich oddam królestwo, lecę za nimi na złamanie karku do spełnionych marzeń. Dodaję pesto, by życie nigdy nie straciło smaku. Góra, dół, i tak bez końca. Życie na bandzie, góra, dół. Powiedz mi, jak mam kontroli nie stracić. Pokochać wroga to prawdziwa sztuka. Wybaczyć zdradę, zależy z kim. Na siłę w życiu płaci nie szukam. Powoli tworzę, najlepszy tego. Zostań moim przyjacielem, bo w moim życiu za dużo wrogów. A wszyscy, których jestem pewien, oni są ze mną, będą jak anioł. Zostań moim przyjacielem, ja czekam na stałe, jestem pod skórą.
Introducing to you one more time, fighting out of the red corner from MMA Saint Césaire. Put your hands together for Aurelien Remond. And his opponent standing across the cage in the blue corner from Avedon MMA. Give it up for Konrad Jaskiewicz. This professional mixed martial arts contest will be fought over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Lee Fallen.
Pro MMA action time, then featherweight pro MMA action with Aurelien Remond fighting out the MMA Fitness Saint Césaire in the red corner with the blue shorts, and the human highlight film, this Konrad Jaskiewicz fighting out Avedon MMA with the camouflage shorts in the blue corner. As I say, do not blink with Konrad Jaskiewicz. He can either cinch up a heel hook in seconds or knock you spark out with a flying knee. You can see straight away he's got a huge height advantage. He's massive at featherweight, Dean, and he starts with a huge leg kick straight away.
Yeah, Remond's got some decent Muay Thai. As you can see, they caught the leg. He's leaving his foot out there. He could potentially get heel hooked in this position here. He needs to start thinking about circling the knee out of this position. Of course, when you go, look at these punishing punches here. That's a good. He's out of the mark. He's completely out. Look at this. Jaskiewicz comes,
you do not like to see that. He took several shots when he was totally unable to defend himself. Oh my goodness.
That was, I mean, that is one of the offenses when somebody grabs a hold of your leg. You need to make sure your knee line's clear, potentially put weight into it, or you can smash them into oblivion here. We saw exactly that from Remond. He's definitely done his homework. Look at the replay here. Jaskiewicz is looking for the heel hook here, looking to get his foot on the hip and circle around both his legs to control that limb, the left leg. But watch how Remond keeps heavy with his leg and just enables him to swing that arm back. Beautiful technique from the punches here, straight down the pipe. And look at this, Jaskiewicz is out.
Yeah, you hate to see that. It was like he went out and then he sparked back in, but then once again he got caught and he just ate some unanswered punches there, didn't he, Dean?
Yeah, he went out and then came back into consciousness and then immediately went out again. I mean, the medics, are tending to his needs here. He'll be all right. He's just got to come to terms with what happened, and this is a learning curve as well. Like he's excellent. We spoke about his footlocks and his fastest submission in MMA history. I think his eighth fastest submission. But now he's learned a valuable lesson. If you swing for a leg, you go for a leg, lock up a leg, you've got to be very careful with the strikes that can be rained down from the top position.
Absolutely. Just look on in the cage here. It's kind of rolling around. The medics are in there. Great medical team here at Contenders. Fighter safety is paramount, of course. I think he's got the oxygen on. Just watch on. Aurelien Remond. He didn't want to win like that. He won in spectacular fashion, but obviously he did not want to win in that way.
Jaskiewicz started off out really well, you know. Remond's been stung with leg kicks previously in his fights, and Jaskiewicz obviously done his homework there. He was working the kicks early on in the fight, but Remond very, very calm and collected. Look at this, he keeps the pressure down through his leg, keeping the weight through that leg that's getting attacked, and he's pounding away the ground and pound. I mean, dangerous position to be in. When you clasp a hold of somebody's leg, you need to control the limb, just like an armbar. And almost certainly both your legs are in play, and sometimes both your hands. But if your hands are away from your head and you're getting struck, you need to let go of that leg, change your position, and at the very, very least, cover up so you don't eat too many of those shots. But we've seen it a lot throughout MMA. In organizations across the world, you know, a leg lock guy will go for a leg, hold on to the leg that perhaps he could get in a jiu-jitsu competition, or perhaps he does at the gym. But when you have somebody striking down with you with these small 4-ounce gloves, looking to knock you out, it's very difficult to replicate that. And you almost certainly have to be aware of it, which, I mean, at the end of this, Konrad is definitely going to be aware of that, and he's going to account for that later on in his career, and, you know, and add that to his game and be aware of the dangers in this position. I mean, look at this brutal ground and pound from the top here.
Yeah, you can see he's still holding onto the leg, but he was out cold. And then we see Konrad's back up, sitting up right now. That's great to see. An excellent round of applause from the knowledgeable audience all around us. And let's hope he won't suffer any ill effects from that KO, because that was a brutal KO loss for Konrad Jaskiewicz. But a learning fight, as you say, Dean. We'll take from that and move forward. Let's just hope he's okay, of course. The medic's still in there with him. He's still got the oxygen mask on him. Getting that oxygen back into the lungs, into the brain. You must be wondering what's going on. Let's hope we see him stand back up here, because he's certainly a very exciting fighter, win or lose. And he's lost tonight, the first time in his career, so his pro career. Now he's back up to his feet. That's great to see, Dean. Fantastic to see here. Well done, Konrad Jaskiewicz, and well done to the medical team for looking after him, Dean.
Yeah, he's going to come back to his senses here. He took some big, heavy shots there, and he was out, and then came back into consciousness and took some more shots. But I mean, he'll bounce back. He's a young kid. He's in shape. He's fit. You know, he's not taken this sort of damage for a prolonged period of time throughout his career. A lot of guys get knocked out and then jump straight in there and then receive the same traumatic injuries, and you know, he's going to bounce back from this, and I'm sure he's going to learn. But a credit to Remond for keeping that leg safe and delivering that power.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for both these guys here in the cage, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, give it up for Aurelien Remond. And let's hear it for Konrad Jaskiewicz.